I'll record this, right? It's recording now, okay?
All right, brilliant. So it's Thursday, 29th April, quick trustees meeting for Aikyam UK. There's myself, Chris Richards, and Kirit Mistry, the president of Aikyam UK. So first thing on the agenda was with regards to NCS. The application will include two campaigns. The two campaigns are Flash Theatre, which is what I spoke about with regards to them creating, basically what we're going to do is, the objective is for them from a youth-led perspective to pick an issue that they are worried about or think that they don't get enough support with, and then create either a 5 to 10 minute production. That production could potentially happen like a flash dance in public, spontaneously, or if that's not possible with current restrictions or restrictions at the time, then it might have to be a video production that we can upload. But it basically is something that they can put into an art format and show this is the issues that we deal with. The second campaign, which is actually, sorry, I should have said this is the first campaign. The main campaign is awareness. We're going to ask them to create a campaign for our launch in September and how we can reach every 8 to 24-year-old and let them know what we do as a service within Leicester, how to contact us, what our details are, what we deal with, what type of support we provide, everything basically. So that's going to be their main campaign. The second one is the Flash Theatre one, which was the second one, like I said. So they'll have options of two. Sometimes NCS, what they've said is more groups may pick one campaign. So we may get more of one campaign, but in different formats coming from different groups, which I said is fine. It limits and it also limits the time we have to spend there physically. I've got a feeling it shouldn't be a problem, and I'm going to be there. I've planned my time to be there, but if we don't need to be, then, you know, there's other things that we can do. They're also going to hand out the survey for us. So every child that goes to NCS will fill in the survey. I believe Kirit's got a special one focused just specifically on mental health. Is that right?
No, that's the one that Chris has done, isn't it? The mental health one. Right,
yeah. But that's the one that includes...
Sorry. No, one of my volunteers, I'll send that. She's done a kind of a mental health specific one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we've got our one, and your other one that's specific to mental health. So we can give those surveys in, submit them. They'll get every student who attends to fill those in for us. That brings us on quite neatly with mental health onto Mental Health Campaign Week. I've acquired now 2 cameras. I've potentially got 3. We've got a Sony that reporters use abroad for filming. It's an actual reporter's camera. So we've got that. That's to borrow. It's lended to us. We've got another one that we can keep, but it's the one where you have to put the small videotapes in. So we would need the right software to edit anything filmed on that. And potentially, I just seen my girlfriend with a Samsung camera, so I'm going to ask her if that works and if we can use that one. It's very good quality. So we've got lighting, we've got lapel microphones, we've got ring lights, basically all the setup for interviews, podcasts, all of that. I kept that in preparation for that girl, but I've not had anyone contact me. So I don't know if is she still interested, or...
Which girl is this?
The one you said you were going to get to call me. The book, she wrote that.
Oh, yeah. I did message her, but she's not responding. But let me give you I'm going to... Yeah, sorry. Karen talk. I'm just going to message her again.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that. Me and Chris, obviously, we discussed Good Deed Ball yesterday. That's something we do need to look into at some point, but I guess it's better when both Jitubai and Shivani are in attendance and we can discuss it as a group. So I'll park that one for now. But with Mental Health Campaign Week, we've literally got now 10 days, 12 days to prepare. I've got a few things ready for social media, etc. I've also spoke to Dr. Anjana Katwa, the lady that, you know, the geologist one. She's going to get back to me to see if she can do anything in time for us for Mental Health Campaign Week, because it links to nature. And this year's one, they've specifically made it to link mental health and nature as a good type of rehabilitation, I guess, if that's the right word for it. But it's linked with nature this year. So Dr. Anjana Katwa, she's going to be, hopefully, I'm hoping, even if it's a 5-10 minute skit that she can do for our social media or something, hopefully discuss a bit about mental health and how nature can help. So coming from her, that would be great. It's better than coming from one of us, I would say, not in any disrespect to anyone, but she's obviously well known. And it's a nice look for us to have someone like that on board. I also, as Chris was here yesterday, I emailed Rachel. We've got the contacts now for Angela and David. I've said, after speaking to her again, that we'll contact them over the next few weeks now, once all of us trustees have got together and put something together. I've spoken to Vinod Popat from Shantidam. He's the one that's, because of MATV, he's the one that's provided the cameras and the equipment. He's also said there's funding available. He did offer it last year. We weren't in need of it at that time, and I didn't want to ask for anything we don't need. Right now, I can't specifically think of anything that we absolutely need that we haven't got money for. So I still haven't requested anything, but that option is there. And I think at some point, when we get to a point about discussing salaries or hiring people, or at least getting 1 or 2 people employed, that could be a potential, and just park that on the side. So that's an option there. And he has said there's funds available. How much, I don't know, but we'd have to speak to him about that. So that's the updates on that. With regards to the website, again, I do apologize, but in evidence to this, Chris was here yesterday. He saw the update on my computer, and literally my laptop, I'm going to have to get a new one. I'm going to have to get my old tablet from my dad's or something, because at the moment, all my work's on here, but this laptop's, it's at the point of ending its course. So before I lose the work on here, I need to transfer everything and get a new one. But I've just struggled to do quite a lot of work. Christine, yesterday, just one update took nearly, I think, was it nearly 2.5 hours, Chris? 2 hours or something, or whatever it was. But
to be fair, I mean, I did an update on Windows 10 today, and I gave up and went home. It's still doing it even now.
Really? Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it's not my laptop. Maybe it's Windows 10 then. But this week, I've had, this is the one yesterday I was saying was the 3rd one. It's literally cut out 3-4 hours a day when I've planned to do stuff. And so I've just left my laptop on now. I'm not doing any updates. I'm going to get the work done. And yeah, I'll give you all an update on the website as soon as I've got one. The content's ready, as I showed yesterday. We've got most of the, yeah.
Can we just go back to the surveys?
Yeah.
Your survey, the Aikyam one, but I haven't got a survey for mental health, Kirit.
Yeah, no. I'm going to email you that, because
all right, okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. I mean, I can do that, and you know, we can get them out then ASAP.
I'm just going to send it to you now, one sec.
Especially with it being a mental health awareness week, you know, be useful to get that out.
Okay, today, a big issue. We've had a parent contact us. There's a girl, she's in trouble. The boyfriend's had a 20-day sentence. He's back out in 10 days. He's broken a nose, or it's a bit, you can see physical marks basically. She needs a safe house, and that the contact that Kirit sent me, Nadia, who's based there, I forgot what the name is, Pradaram, I forgot how you pronounce it.
Panagar.
Panagar, right. Lovely people. They just haven't got the space at the moment. They've all got they've got a waiting list themselves already. She's given me all the details. She's asked for updates. She said she'll support us in finding and looking for other places. She's got all my details, so she's working from her end. I've spoken to my sister, as you all know, she works for the housing, which they provide a lot of support through there as well. I've asked them. She sent me a few links, so in the morning I need to contact them. Tomorrow leaves us 9 days. This is our first now real life case study, I guess, and I've taken it on, so I guess now we'll see.
How old is this person?
She's 25.
25.
Yeah, I know it's but I can't turn around and say someone you're 1 year older than
No, that's fine. I wasn't thinking that. I just
no, I know. Yeah, I just thought, you know, I can't say no. Someone needs help. I've got a mum on the phone crying, and it's like the girl at the moment is living with her mum and dad. The parents are that scared of this boy that they're saying take her to a safe house somewhere. He's threatened to blow up their house, and police are aware of it. They've informed fire services, fire emergency services, who have come out, fitted in some special equipment that if there is a fire, it's extra protective equipment. And I guess for things like if someone's posting a Molotov cocktail or, you know, stuff like that, they've provided like a fireproof type of cage thing that can stop that kind of stuff, and smoke alarms and various other things, and just made sure that they're as best prepared. But they're taking these threats seriously, and this girl, she needs help.
okay.
I'm pretty sure even if worst comes to worst, if the safe house is out of Leicester, I'm pretty sure she'd take that at the moment as well.
Well, if Panagar is one option, then refuge is the other option.
Panagar's not. They've flatly said within 10 days it's not going to happen. They've got such a waiting list at the moment.
No, I'm saying not Panagar, but refuge. They've got the national. See how it works is that if somebody is a threat of, if it's abuse, domestic abuse, or threat to life, then that would be a priority. But again, refugees got all the place. They know it could be out of Leicester, but they know which of their schemes may have a bed or a space. So again, that might be the other option. You know, through if you spoke to Nadia, did you?
I spoke to Nadia, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lovely lady. I mean, she was very helpful, just couldn't provide the help out of her hands, obviously, but she couldn't provide the help that we need. But she's willing to support us. She's walked me through quite a few things. We've also got the police contact who's handling the case. I've sent him some messages. His phone diverting. He's not put anything back to me in terms of text or call. And we've got they told me we should be able to get a Maroc referral. Now, this is discussed every day with the police and certain services, support services. So we've got to find out if this girl has a Maroc referral, which should have been done through Women's Aid, who she's also got a support worker through. But unfortunately, they've not been able to help her at the moment. I think they did house her in Luton last time, but now, since he's been back to prison and she's back in Leicester, he's not, I don't know. Basically, she's not got the support from there, so they've had to reach out. We've also been given the number of Valley House, which is a women's support service again as well. She's not a parent. Sorry?
Do you know Cynthia Trust?
No.
Do you know them, Kirit?
Yeah, I know Cynthia quite well, but they
help.
She's got contacts, but again, the reason why Panagar's the preferred provider of housing in.
Yeah, sure.
So, but again, it's worth worth a shout if you're struggling. But if she's already got a women's aid caseworker, then she's in the best form of hands, because what you're doing is really duplicating what women's aid are doing. You're just.
I mean, in all honesty, she's got that, but for them to reach out to us and say we're not, they're not helping us or whatever it is. She said basically the women's aid work, she's very relaxed about this. She's not really seeing the threat that they're seeing or the police are seeing. I don't know where the miscommunication is there. If the police have referred something, I would have thought women's aid would automatically class it as a priority regardless of their own personal opinion or bias, but I don't know.
I've just put a link to the Xynthia Trust on the WhatsApp group, so maybe you could give them a ring.
Again, at the same time, women's aid, yes, they've probably got the wealth of resources that we can't, but maybe between our network, we do know someone somewhere, like potentially Nalini Auntie and this the Somalian women she works with, because I know they deal with a lot of refuge and certain situations, so maybe we can find help through someone else. But we may have contact with other networks that women's aid don't, smaller networks, more helpful networks, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know where she lives at the moment?
Close to Gypsy Lane.
Right, okay.
So it's local.
The only other option is to get the councillors involved, her local councillor.
Any children involved?
No, I don't believe so. No, they've just said it's just her, single girl.
Yes. So I would use that, try and get the council involved and see if they can also add some pressure as well.
What about that Bhupen Dove?
He's too far out of it now, isn't he?
What about that Nitesh Dove, or whatever his name is?
No, they're not in the system. Nitesh is probably he's a school teacher, but he would. Bhupen used to work in that environment, but again, I don't know how helpful it'd be. I think the best.
What kind of names are we looking at if we do go down that route?
Oh, what's the address? Because then we know which is our councillor.
It's close to Gypsy Lane.
Yeah, because Gypsy Lane borders. It could be. Just one sec. It could be. I think it's Rita Patel. In fact.
Ah, right. I've spoken to her before. Yeah.
Gypsy.
I mean, the one that springs to mind to me is the Salvation Army in Wigston.
Hey, they're quite good because they do a lot of the traffic people as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Sorry, what was her name again? Rita
Patel.
No.
Or there's that. In fact, Ross Wilmot, he's now standing for bloody police crime commissioner. Get him involved. He'll be the best person, I think, because
okay.
Because he's because it depends on her address. You've got she may be on part of the Hamilton councillors.
I mean, obviously I've got to discuss with her and her parents what kind of authorization they're giving me and who to discuss what with, obviously. So
yeah, you need to be clear about that, because anything if you're going to refer to any agency, you need to have her authority. And even if it's a message, on a text message to say I give you authority to blah blah blah, then that's fine. But written is better. Yeah. So I think just try the council as the next option and see where you get on. Yeah.
All right. So
Ross Wilmot would be,
without any without any immediate solutions on that at the moment, that's something over the next 10 days, anything that can potentially help this girl, keep a lookout for. Let's see what we can do. I'll obviously handle it from this end, and if there's any updates, I'll let you know. Insurance, we've covered that. Just to go over it for the purpose of the recording. Insurance, we've received a quote. It's £96 at the moment, but we need to just clarify a few details, and that quote may change. It's £96 for the year. Potentially, depending on the changes in the questions, depending on how we answer them, maximum we're looking at is about £140 for the year. So I think they do it £14 a month for 10 months, and then you don't pay for 2 months or something like that if we do it monthly, or we'll just pay it off for the year, and then we can renew it next year. So that's the insurance. We can update NCS with that. NCS, we've said the form will be ready by Tuesday morning. I'm going to send you lot the actual campaign form now, so you can have a read through it. If there's anything you think you need to change, I've kept it very basic so that NCS have a basic template, makes it easier for them to work with, easier for us on the first time, and then we can obviously maximize things differently next time depending on how this one goes this year. Mental health campaign week then, guys, what are we doing? If you've texted this girl, that's an interview that we may potentially have. Without her, what else have we got? What are we going to do?
Okay, just one sec. If you Chris, just give me share, make me co-host.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you made me host. Okay, I'll change you back to.
It's all right, don't matter. Whatever.
Okay. So basically, this is we just hopefully by the end of the weekend this will be finalized. But these are different organizations like wanting to do something. So I said to them, let's just come together and just do one. We all work as a collaborative and we all do it together. So basically, this mental health awareness, the Luana community wanting to do one event, but
My boy.
Hey,
my boy.
Yeah. So, but that came through the councillor, through Nita Solanki. She basically said, oh, they approached her and they want to do something on mental health. So there's going to be a series of events with them. They want to do stuff on mental health, domestic abuse. And I said to them that obviously I told her about Aikyam and from a youth point of view. So that could be another May the 10th. That's we can put in the activity here to say we're going to launch. Aikyam's going to launch its youth Aikyam. Okay, and that's just, and then there'll be a series of. We need to get the. If we've got any case studies that we can get the media, because we need to do a press release that the media gets. We'll want some case studies of people who have had challenges with mental health. So anyway, so that's the. I've spoken to that Mira Dalal who she killed herself. And, yeah. So her mother, I'm due to speak with her.
I've been speaking to her over we've just literally, I think just last week we spent about an hour and a half on the phone.
Okay, because one of the girls who's part of one of our WhatsApp groups, she knows her quite well, and obviously she's mentioned to her that for Mental Health Awareness Week, we could get her to share her story, obviously, with to raise awareness of Mira's kind of.
That was, I'm sure I mentioned this last week that I'd spoken to her, and she's going to do a video for us.
I must have missed that then, because obviously if she's doing a video, that's fine, because that's good. But this would be what we're trying to do is have a live event, a Zoom event, right? To bring her, and the other person who we showcased last year was Saroj from London.
Right.
So we can do, Saroj has got a similar story, but you've got a mother who's going to talk about her daughter taking her life, and then you've got Saroj who suffered with mental health, who had domestic abuse, and her son took his life at 16. So you've got those three different kind of. So that's what I was supposed to speak to Dutch. I mean, that's her name, yesterday, but I didn't get a chance. So I'm due to speak with her to try and pin down which day that we can do this event. Right?
Yeah, just mention that I've spoken to her last week, and she'll catch you up on what we spoke about. In terms of, we've got the case studies then who highlight the issues and all of that. In terms of who you can go out and reach out to for help, depending on, do you want me to speak to that Rupal from London, the doctor? Maybe she can provide some like medical type of information or something that's supported by the NHS, or something in terms of what you can do, who you can call, reach out to. I know we've got that information, but anything that's from them, if it just builds our presentation a bit better.
Sure. So you've got basically, we've got this Wellbeing Walks, which is what Leicester Community Links is doing. Her name is Taruna Mistry. I don't know if you've come across her. She's set up this community interest company herself. She's just been working at Highfields Community Centre. She's now taken the job with, that organisation I told you that's got the IAP service now in Leicester, Vita Health. Yeah. So she's going to be working for Equality Action Charnwood as one of the part-time development workers to promote IAPT and referring people to get less talking therapies. So she's going to work for them to do that.
Right. I've just had an email from the consultant we use as like our backstop, because I'm very aware that we should not be making medical diagnoses. So if it comes to that, we have a consultant psychiatrist in our team, and he's just sent me a link of something that's going on in India, pioneered by Tata Medical. And he said, have a look at this. This is something we ought to be doing in this country. Share it. So I've just sent both the link. It's worth looking at, Kirit.
You've sent it on email?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this as well, which I'm going to send. I just got today as well, which is another mental health event, which another organisation is doing. Just one sec.
But from Aikyam's perspective, what are we planning for that week in terms of actions that we're going to take?
Yeah, so what we just, I think, as I said, we're going to do the launch, the youth survey. Yeah, we're going to launch that because I know you're going to do it with NCS, but we will launch it during that week anyway. Right? Yeah. So that this is the one that the students done. So this is the mental health survey one of our students have done, right? So we can launch this, right? But we can look at it. Although we're focusing this very much at South Asian communities, but we can change it. She only sent it to me yesterday, so but it just basically goes through, a bit of monitoring details, and then asking them if they had a problem in emotion, how likely would they seek help, and then where would they go? So who would they reach out to a friend, etc. So that's what these questions are. And then again, please indicate how appropriate each statement is. And then I'm confident that I know where to seek help. I'm confident that I know how to use a computer, blah blah blah, to seek information on mental illness. So this is a psychology student that's put this together. So I'll email it to you guys. Have a look at it, and then we can what the idea is that we're going to put all the logos on there. So some of the organizations that are on the week, we'll just put all of the logos. So we do this as a collaborative survey, just because it just looks better in the long run as well.
Yeah.
So that was the one. And then going back to this, what have I done there? So that I'm going to see which day is better for Daksha. But then we've got Pam doing mindfulness, so she's going to do 2 sessions. She's going to do one midweek and one, but she also does a children's mindfulness session. So we may get her to do one for a youthful mindfulness and one for an adults. But the good thing about the only good thing about it, we've got the people. We need to get we've got the people to deliver it. We need to get the attendees. That's always a challenge. So hence, I'm trying to get. I've got this guy to work on a flyer for this week. So he said if he can try and knock it out by the end of the weekend. So we can have it by Monday. So we can start promoting some of these. Some of these are going to be on Zoom. Some of them are going to be. Most of it's going to be on Zoom, really, the way things are. Some of these wellbeing walks are going to be outdoors, but that's done by these organizations. And then the icing on is this mental health training, this community ambassador program, which that doctor from Leicester Partnership Trust, I mentioned last time, we're going to train, we're calling them South Asian mental health ambassadors for Belgrave area, because we're starting in Belgrave has had last couple of months seen a couple of suicides, etc. So I think when I spoke to Councillor Anita, she was keen on it. She said, let's start. They want to make a name in terms of their locality. So they said, we'll start it, we'll do it in Belgrave. So, and yesterday I had a meeting with Paula Warren, who's the mental health commissioner, because to say, where's the funding? Because she's got all this money, but she's saying she's going to put the money through primary care networks, for youth and also for adults as well. Yeah. So she's got potentially £1 million that she's putting towards transformation initiatives in the community. But she sees these kind of initiatives what they should be funding, but it's going to go through the GPs, the GP practices who manage the primary care networks. So it may be that. And then what we're also going to do this week is this, which.
Can I just say, Kirit, on the 10th, we have a course at 6:30 in the evening, and that is on neurodiversity first aid. So it's like the next stage on from mental health first aid. Okay, it's more aimed at companies, but it's useful, in the workplace environment. I don't know whether you want to publicise that.
Yeah. Let's have it in there. So
I can send you a link to it.
Yeah, so we'll put it in the program and put it down as Kimmel, K-I-M-E-L, Kimmel Foundation. No, that's fine. That's good. Let's just have it in there and that's. Once you send me the link, but this is we're going to do this.
That neurodiversity first aid, it's also CPD accredited.
Oh, excellent. So So this is going to be adults 18 plus. So people who have used Leicester Partnership Trust, there's a consultation coming out, like they did with the hospital. They're doing this one for Leicester Mental Health. It starts in mid-May for 12 weeks. So what we're going to do, I think, for Aikyam to get its name out there, we could say that Aikyam are going to do a consultation for 18 to 24, right? And then and this is what the reason why they're consulting is because obviously they've got to retender some of these services. So the ones that their proposals that they consult people up the communities on is a new service. They've introduced a new service for it's called the Central Access Point. They had to introduce that for COVID. At the same time, they've introduced the Urgent Care Hub for mental health. But they want to consult. They couldn't consult previously. They just had to introduce it because of COVID. And then there's other initiatives that they fund. Currently, they fund Turning Point to have youth workers in A&E. So if anyone's coming in with knife crime or violent crime, they're picked up by youth workers or project workers. They've also funded a number of crisis cafes. So all of these services, right? They want basically to consult on, and then it's a 12-week consultation. But this is a great opportunity for Aikyam to do it focused on 18 to 24, right? And then because it's important that they want to, in 12 weeks, we've got to look at creative ways of how we're going to consult, how we're going to use these themed areas, like these areas. How can we consult people on what ways could we do it? Could we do it through a podcast? Could we get people to talk about their experiences of using a crisis cafe? Because the crisis cafe is the latest children's service that they offer. So when they finish school, if they're feeling anxious or they can go to this. Sorry, not crisis cafe. Crisis cafe is for the older ones, but for the children, it's called chill out zones. They're calling them, right? Yeah. And they on their way from school at 3 o'clock, 3 till 5, this chill out zone is available for them to access. But again, we don't know where they are. They're being funded by and Turning Point are running them. But again, it's for us to consult young people, and that could be another. So we don't need to, I think from Aikyam's point of view, we don't need to go through consult on all of this because some of these are adult focused. So we look at which ones are more relevant to the young people, and then we just focus on those, right? And then obviously from Saha's point of view, we're going to do the more the community-led mental health elements of it. So the adult focus really.
Of course, yeah.
And with this comes with this comes a little bit of funding as well. So that's something that we can look at. What we need. We've got to scope out an expression, but what do we need in terms of how to make it a bit more targeted and creative for young people? So that's that consultation. That's going to be, so May is going to be quite full on. So it's important that we get this. I'll share this consultation document, and we start looking at. I think the chill out will. I'm going back to the CCG to find out which are the ones that are relevant for 18 to 24-year-olds, because that's what we're saying we work. We're going to Aikyam will focus on that.
What about if we get everything set up for Friday the 14th? If we get everything set up, if we were to do a Friday 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. podcast or live shows where youth can then contact us, this and that, we'd have to do it weekly so that you start getting your views. First few weeks you only have a few, and then depending on what you discuss, how popular it is, hopefully that should start spreading the message out. If we can get younger people, especially in that age group that we're trying to target, if we can get them tuning into us, maybe we can get a lot of interaction that way, especially through things like comments and phone-ins, whatever. So there's a lot of options there, but I think a live stream on YouTube or Facebook once a week, Friday 6 till 8 or something, or maybe another day in the week. But I think if we were to set that up, that could be a good way.
What about speaking to VJ at Eva FM or Leicester Community? VJ, he's kind of, he runs Eva FM.
Okay. What, on radio then?
So we're having we say, or Leicester Community Radio, one of the two, because they're very open about.
The only problem is what you find is these young people, they don't really tune into radio anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless the radio's got a live YouTube stream.
Yeah, it has, because they had the police crime commissioners on yesterday.
Yeah, then I mean, yeah. So if we were to do something like that similar, then that's different. But if you're asking young kids to tune in and listen to a radio for 2 hours, it's unlikely.
Okay, so I think keep the youth podcast that you're saying. I think
they want, with these, you need something visual, someone they can see, they can contact with. They want to see their live chat comments on the board and, you know, all that kind of new shit that these lot do. If we get them, I mean, I think Kirit's remembering them days of Graham Torrington and Late Night Love, you know, like back in the late 80s, where we're not going to get kids ringing in on a radio show to be all on that.
No, it was, I was thinking, because they have a couple of youth programs, but again, I agree with you. I think if we just, I think the podcast is fine. I think it's for an hour and a half or an hour, did you say?
Yeah, an hour, like 6 till 7 or something on a Thursday, Friday, once a week. Have it on a regular. I mean, obviously we can't do Thursdays because the last Thursday for us is meeting day. So if we pick another day, I mean, in all honesty, if it's going to be me doing it, I can just pick a day in the week that I know I'm free once a week, every week, and just run it. Start getting guests.
What you could do is you can start it for this week.
Yeah.
And keep the podcast. Do it on mental health, but you know what young people are feeling because of, you know, going back to school. You could get a couple of school kids, or you could get people who have been locked down or whatever. So, but focus it around, you know, mental health. You know, their mental health really. And then that kicks it off for you to do it regularly on other themes like, you know, gang culture or drugs or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll get that set up. All right.
Okay. We done?
I think Chris is saying wine o'clock.
Yeah.
It's still recording. That's fine. Yeah.
That's fine.
I just wondered, passing it over to you as host, whether it would still record on mine.
It might be a trustees meeting, but you are allowed to have a glass of wine when we're done. Don't worry. You know.
Sorry, because I'll stop sharing and then I'm going to hand you back the host.
Thank you very much. So while we're at it, how the hell do I make you as co-host?
You just go on my name.
Yeah. And
it should give you the option of co-host.
On where the blue square with the 3 dots are.
Hey?
It says make host. It doesn't give you the more. No, I just have it make host. I don't have make you co-host.
Okay, it must be.
What about if you make Kirit host again quickly and you check the option the other way?
Okay, let's try that.
I'll try you make host. Right.
Is yours a free account or a pro account?
No, mine's a pro account.
Okay. How much you pay for that?
$10 a month, something like that.
Okay. Right, let me just try and see if I can get you to. Weird. You have to go into your Zoom settings because it's not even letting me do it from mine.
No.
Yeah, no. Because I can do it from my account. You've got to go into settings, and then it gives you the option of clicking co-host options.
Maybe from a paid account or a premium account, the options are slightly different.
No, I've got the same account, pro account.
Right. Okay, I don't know.
You can have the option of co-host because then you still keep the host. But anyway, I'll make you back to me.
We'll have a look at that. Yeah.
All right. So we've got quite a few things to actually do now. Sunday, if you're free, then Chris, you're aware of it anyway, aren't you? You said if you're free, you'll.
What's up? Sorry, you said about the website. You were talking about the website, and then you moved on to your laptop. Is the website ready, or is the guys not done any more on it, or?
He's not managed to do anymore, but that's because I've not been able to go see him with the content that I've got on my computer. And when I was supposed to send it over, I couldn't get it sent to him. So it's more from my end, and I can only apologize for that. I'll get that sorted as soon as I can. I just need to get this laptop down there, and me and him can go through that content.
Okay. Or the other option is to put it on a stick and drop it to him, memory stick.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that. It's I can just email it to him. It's all he has to do is copy and paste it. But when I was sending it, and I'm basically, you've seen the template, and on what I've sent him, I've said under this photo, this is what he found that a bit confusing. He said, "You come and see me and just tell me where you want me to copy paste things and add things." And I said, "Yeah, that works out easier." So I'm just waiting to go see him and do that.
Okay, I'm just
right. Sunday
we need to get
we've got Anand and Prakash coming down. These are two very helpful guys. I do trust them as part of the network in terms of handing them smaller responsibilities and getting things done. I've worked with them previously on voluntary projects, and I really do feel we need to start getting the rest of the network back on board, because we're at that stage now where some of the stuff we're going to be doing is going to be passed out through networks. Stuff that we're doing as well, you know, like these online social media things, helping people and stuff like that. Maybe they've got grandkids, kids, people that we can pass these messages through the network. I think having volunteered on that group, I think I'm going to ask that Smita auntie whether she'd mind passing a message to the group, even just for 5 minutes, for me to have a, you know, in return for all that voluntary work, just say that, look, let me have 5 minutes and just give this message out and spread awareness about it. Maybe some of these elderly, they've got grandkids, nieces, nephews, whoever that they can pass the information on to. So I want to spread information, obviously make people aware that we'll be getting a podcast going, and just get people onto our, at the moment, our Facebook, Instagram is all active. So people can contact us through there. I get instant notifications, everything on Facebook. I don't know if you lot have seen the pages recently, but it's been shared a few times, some of the posts that we've done. I'm going to start upping the consistency now. I'm just trying to balance the reach that we're getting without having to pay for any ads on it at the moment. And we seem to have got pretty good reach. I can make you lot admin on that as well. So whenever you lot need to post, you lot need to do anything, or if you want anything doing on social media, send it through to me and I can put it up on our Aikyam thing. Yeah. Anything that you think we need to be sharing, posting, send it through to me.
On Sunday, if you show me the Instagram, how that, you know, basically doing more posting on Instagram, because I know Twitter, I know Facebook, but I just don't know.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Twitter's active as well. Instagram, you have to capture people's attention with the image. Yeah. With Facebook, you can have a post, a video, a photo, as Chris likes to say as well, because of their algorithms, anything with an image, a visual, more than likely your video's top priority, then it's a photo, and then it's your text. That's normally the order it comes in, but it can change. Whereas if you're in contact with Kirit every day and not with me, and Kirit puts text out and I put a video out, you're still more likely to see Kirit's because you're part of more of his network and you're always liking his posts. So there is that balance, and we need to get people interacting with our posts. So, you know, I've worked with the algorithms. I mean, I built Manoj's 400 followers up to nearly 4,500, 5,000 within just a few months for more restaurants. So we know what we're doing on that side, just need the equipment. The key thing, I'm going to say this again, is content. Regular, consistent content. If you come across anything, it can be a meme, it can be a visual, it can be a photo, it can be we're supporting another charity, we're supporting anything that you think Aikyam either supports, should promote, should endorse, should make people aware of, anything like that, we can post it. So just text me, say ready to share, and I can get that up on all of our social media. With Instagram, it has to be a visual. With Twitter, it's more your hashtags and what's trending.
So we just started a short survey for Anthony Nolan around stem cell. So I've just tweeted it today. It's going to go on to Facebook and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of if you need help with your social media, building that platform on and knowing how to use all your platforms the right way, let me know. I can help you with all of that. Yeah, no, we'll talk on Sunday, definitely.
Yeah. Chris, Kiri, 1:30 Sunday is provisionally planned. We are meeting at Nalini Auntie's house in the garden. However, if there's an issue with that, I'll organize for us to meet somewhere else, depending on the weather. Otherwise, we'll just have it in my garden here, yeah?
Okay, no problems.
All right.
Thank you.
It's supposed to be dry on Sunday.
Brilliant. Yeah, I can't see an issue at Nalini Auntie's house, but
where did she live? Where did
Hamilton.
She live? Oh, Hamilton. Okay, no problem. Great. All right, nice one.
Okay.
Chris, see you later.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Anything else?
No. That funding bid that Chris sent today.
Oh yeah.
Right. So just on that, I tried to apply for it last year, right? But we didn't have the things in place was all the policies, you know. So just look at that. It's definitely worth putting for if we're gonna. The target group is ideally for 18 to 24-year-olds. So it's perfect. Yeah.
Every policy in existence. All I've got to do is cut and paste it.
Great. So I might pinch a couple from you then as well, because I need something. Yeah. So
what you need.
Now you see, the problem I've got is we've got from Aikyam and even Saha, because we joined National Council of Voluntary Organisations, all the templates are on there, but it's having to spending time to do. And
from my observations, you lot are much more experienced with this, and I've always said that with regards to funding. I've not even done an application form. If you're going to copy and paste stuff that's from a successful one, because the amount of failures we're getting.
He's not the bid. He's about policies, because that's what they asked for.
But that's what I mean. That's part of your application, isn't it?
Yeah, but
the policy, that's all. They never read it.
No, and the thing is, the failure is not down to the quality of the application. The challenge we've got is we don't have the track record. I've just been on.
The thing is, Eval, if you apply for funding for Aikyam, why the hell do they want an environmental sustainability policy? What has that got to do with it?
Yeah.
It's a box they want to tick, so you send it to them. But I mean, with Kimmel, we're going down the ISO 9001 registration route, so you've got to have everything in place, and you've got to have the correct protocols for that documentation.
You know something that ISO whatever I think there's a newer accredited kind of quality kite mark is what you're looking for. Look at the best one, because that one I think is predated.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's internationally recognised, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
Sell courses to the States and to Australia. So it's got to be ISO 9000. It's the only one they recognise.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, before we go, just a quick reminder, please keep this girl in your minds. If there's anything we can help her with, send me a text or a call or anything.
Chris, that Salvation Army might be the next route. So that's probably, you know, another option. But again, you know, because she's
the army, they just give you a central phone number. Has to be put through to Wigston. Wigston are quite useful, and also it'll be out of her area. It's away from Gypsy Lane, but you're still within Leicester.
But the other thing as well is, as I said, the quickest way to, if the police ain't doing anything, right, and Women's Aid Office ain't doing anything, right, you need to escalate it to the councillor, her local councillor.
But
That's the best.
Police are supporting her. They are limited. They can issue a restraining order, but if the person chooses to breach that, you can't have 24-hour security on the house, unfortunately.
No, I understand that. No.
Police can only do something once the act of the crime or the threat of the crime or something's there.
Yeah,
and
has she suffered in the hands of any abuse from him in the past? So,
yeah.
So if all of that's there, then they anything that the police can do, because it's a fear of her life, they can housing to safe house. They've got the authority to kind of.
I know. I'm trying to get hold of this James, her contact. But look, I've got those details. I was just trying to say, keep it in your mind. If there is anything we can do that's outside of the standard things that I'm about to do, and like I say, I'm probably duplicating a lot of stuff. But
the only thing that you can do, the only thing is contact Cynthia Trust, because when I was at Adult, there was this Punjabi gentleman who was sleeping in the park, right, because he didn't have the right paperwork, etc., and his mental health suffered. So they managed to house him at Croft Hotel, and that he was there for a good 10 days. So they can find money for that. But again, speak to him, because this girl, because she's a female, and Cynthia like to do a lot more work, they're more female orientated, that'd probably be a good option.
All right.
And if you want, obviously, Cynthia, I know Cynthia, but
let me speak to them, make sure they're okay for me to speak to them, or take it further, and then I'll contact you tomorrow with regards to that. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
ideally, if you can, you want to try and get through to Cynthia.
Yeah.
Cynthia is really nice and really helpful. Her staff can be a bit obstructive, I'm afraid.
Is that Sharon? Sharon?
Yeah.
If Kirit's got an existing rapport with them, look, anything can help right now.
A few strings.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me
network.
Let me speak to them, and if that's the route and they're okay for us to do that, I'll let you lot know on the group text, and then either one of you, both of whatever, we can hopefully go down that route and hopefully just help this girl. We've had previous experiences, and I just don't want to think about, we've got 10 days and, let's just do what we can. So, yeah.
All right. No problem.
Okay. All the best.
All right, guys.
I'll stop recording now.